You are the author of your own life. The pen is in your hands. And every single day you're writing a new page. That's why now, more than ever, it's time to put the spotlight on you. Because that kind of focused attention, it has the power to change your entire life in ways you probably haven't even imagined yet. Take a moment and really sit with this. When was the last time you gave yourself your full attention? Not in a selfish or self-absorbed way, but in a way that feeds your dreams, supports your personal growth, and honors who you're becoming? See, it's easy to get lost in the daily rush. We're constantly moving, chasing deadlines, running errands, showing up for others, trying to keep everything together. Life becomes one long to-do list. And in all the chaos, there's one person we tend to ignore the most: ourselves. But here's the truth. You can't pour into others if your own cup is empty. You can't give your best when you're running on fumes. And you definitely can't be a strong leader, friend, or partner if you're not first showing up for yourself. That's why focusing on you isn't optional. It's essential. Let's be clear. I'm not saying you should abandon your responsibilities or start putting yourself above everyone else. This isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming intentional. It's about making a real conscious choice to invest in yourself, to fuel your mind, strengthen your body, and nourish your soul. Because here's what happens when you do that. Everything in your life gets better. Your relationships deepen. Your work becomes more meaningful. Your presence becomes more powerful. And the ripple effect you have on the people around you grows bigger and brighter. Let me share a quick story to show you what I mean. There was once a young man who seemed to have everything together on the outside. He had a steady job, a loving family, a routine that kept him moving. But on the inside, he felt like something was missing. He was tired, uninspired, disconnected. Why? Because he was living his life for everyone else, checking off boxes, chasing approval, doing what was expected. But somewhere along the way, he stopped listening to his own voice. He forgot what he wanted. Then one day, something shifted. He hit pause. He took a step back. And he made a new choice to focus on himself for once. He started reading again. He made time to exercise. He gave meditation a try. And one afternoon, he picked up a paintbrush, something he hadn't done since he was a teenager. It lit something up inside of him. That spark had been there the whole time. It had just been buried under years of noise. And little by little, his whole life began to change. He became more present with his family because he was finally present with himself. He started showing up to work with more energy, more ideas, more drive. He even started selling his art, turning it into a small business he loved. And it all started with one decision: to stop ignoring his own needs. I'm not telling you to quit your job or make massive changes overnight. But what I am telling you is this: it's time to put yourself on the list. Actually, scratch that. It's time to put yourself at the top of the list. Because when you make your own growth and happiness a priority, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping everyone around you. So where do you begin? How do you start focusing on yourself in a way that actually leads to something meaningful? It all starts with your mindset. You have to believe deep down that you deserve your own time, energy, and effort. So many people walk through life thinking they're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy of anything more than what they already have. But let me remind you of something important. You are a miracle. The chances of you being born, you exactly as you are so unbelievably small, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. You are one of a kind, a mix of genes, experiences, ideas, and dreams that has never existed before and will never exist again. So why would you treat yourself like anything less than rare and valuable? You need to start treating yourself with the same level of care and attention you give to the people you love most. And one way to do that is by setting clear goals. Not vague hopes, not someday dreams. I'm talking about real specific goals that give you something to aim for. Ask yourself, where do I want to be 5 years from now? What skills do I want to master? What kind of person do I want to become? Write those goals down. Make them real. Because a goal you never write down, that's just a wish that fades away. And once you've got those goals, create a personal growth plan. That's your map, your guide, your plan of action. Fill it with daily habits that help your mind, body, and spirit grow. Read every day. Move your body. Practice mindfulness. Whatever works for you, as long as it pushes you forward. And here's the thing, you've also got to master your time. Time is your most valuable resource. We all get 24 hours in a day, but what we do with those hours, that's what makes the difference. Start tracking how you spend your time for a week. You might be shocked at how much of it disappears into things that don't support your goals or your happiness. Then shift your focus, prioritize. Make space for what actually matters to you. Surround yourself with people and ideas that lift you up. The people you talk to, the content you consume, the things you allow into your mental space, all of it is shaping you. So choose wisely. Be around those who challenge you to grow, who see your potential, who believe in your dreams. Read books that stretch your mind. Listen to podcasts or watch videos that motivate you and teach you something new. Because here's a fact. The world is changing fast, faster than ever, and the only way to stay ahead of it is to keep learning, always. Make it a daily habit to learn something, anything, a new skill, a new idea, a different way of thinking. The more you learn, the more valuable you become, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. And let's not forget your physical health. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. If it's not working well, everything else becomes harder. So take care of it. Eat real, nutritious food, get enough sleep, move your body every day. You don't need to chase perfection. You just need a body that supports the life you want to live with energy, strength, and vitality. Let's talk about something that's often overlooked, your emotional and mental health. In a world that's always moving, always loud, always demanding more, your inner life can get drowned out. But make no mistake, your mental and emotional well-being, that's not just a background detail. It's foundational to everything else. If your mind is in chaos, it doesn't matter how organized your calendar is. If you're constantly stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, it doesn't matter how many goals you write down. You'll always be running on empty. So take time for yourself. Real time. Time to reflect. Time to breathe. Journaling for 10 minutes in the morning, turning off notifications in the evening, even just sitting still, doing absolutely nothing for a few moments. That matters. Practice gratitude, not the fake kind, but the real, grounded practice of noticing what's good in your life. It could be your morning coffee, a call from a friend, a quiet walk. When you train your mind to see what's working, you shift the way you experience the world. And if you're going through something tough, talk to someone. Whether it's a therapist, a coach, or someone you trust. Asking for help is not weakness. It's maturity. It's courage. Taking care of your mental health isn't selfish. It's smart. Now let's talk about something else that can completely shift the way you see yourself. Your strengths. Every person has something unique, some talent, some ability, some natural wiring that makes them them. But we spend so much of our lives trying to fix ourselves, polish the rough edges, patch the holes, fill the gaps. And yes, improvement matters. But you don't become extraordinary by obsessing over what you're bad at. You become extraordinary by going all in on what you're great at. Think about athletes, artists, leaders. They don't reach the top by being pretty good at everything. They focus on what comes naturally, and they master it. So what do you naturally do well? What lights you up when you do it? Double down on that. Sharpen it. Invest in it. That's your edge. But while you're building yourself, don't forget one thing. We are not meant to do life alone. Yes, this journey is about you, your growth, your healing, your goals. But we are wired for connection. And meaningful relationships, real ones, can be the fuel that keeps us going when we want to quit. So stay connected. Be present with the people who matter. Put down the phone when someone's talking. Send that text you've been meaning to send. Make time for family dinners, deep conversations, shared laughter. Because at the end of the day, it's not just what you accomplish, it's who you share it with that gives life its richest meaning. I know this all sounds great in theory, but maybe you're thinking, I don't have time for this. And listen, I get it. Life is full. Schedules are packed. Responsibilities are endless. But here's what no one tells you. You can't afford not to focus on yourself, because when you constantly put yourself last, when you ignore your own needs for too long, something starts to break down. Your energy fades. Your spark disappears. Your motivation, your joy, even your sense of direction, it all starts to feel off. And eventually you don't just feel tired, you feel lost. So start small. That's all it takes. Maybe it's 15 minutes in the morning just for you. Maybe it's reading one book a month, or taking a 20-minute walk once a week without your phone just to clear your head. These little actions, they compound like drops of water in a bucket. Day by day, they fill it up. And one day you'll look around and realize your life feels completely different. Let me share a story to show you what I mean. There was a woman who felt stuck. Her job drained her. Her relationship felt distant. And the dreams she used to have, they felt so far away, she wasn't even sure they were real anymore. But one morning, she made a small decision. Just 30 minutes a day for herself. She started journaling, reading. Nothing dramatic, just quiet moments of reconnection. At first, nothing really changed. But a few weeks in, she noticed something. Her mood lifted. She felt lighter. She started setting small goals, things like finish a book or go for a walk every day. Her confidence grew. She signed up for an online class, started working out again, and within a year, she had a new job she actually enjoyed. Her relationship improved because she was happier, more grounded, more her, and she even began chasing a dream she'd buried long ago. It all started with 30 minutes a day. That's it. Focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring everyone else. It's not about putting yourself above others. It's about becoming the version of yourself that has more to give, more energy, more love, more clarity, more presence. Think about that airplane safety announcement. Put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others. It's not selfish. It's logical. Because if you pass out from lack of oxygen, you can't help anyone. Same goes for life. When you take care of yourself, your health, your growth, your spirit, you multiply your capacity to care for the people around you. So what can you do right now to support that? Start with a morning routine that actually fuels you. No, you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. or follow some complicated checklist. Just build a rhythm that grounds you. Maybe it's 10 minutes of journaling, 20 minutes of movement, or a quiet moment of meditation before the day starts. Block out time during your week, non-negotiable time, for personal growth. Maybe that's an hour at night to read, or one afternoon on the weekend to work on a project that lights you up. And practice saying no. No to the things that drain you. No to commitments that don't align with your values. Because every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to something that does. At the end of each day, pause and reflect. What went well? What didn't? What did you learn about yourself? This small habit of reflection, it fast-tracks growth more than you think. And don't forget your body. Your physical health is directly tied to your mindset, your energy, and your ability to stay on track. Eat real food. Move your body. Prioritize sleep. You're not chasing six-pack abs. You're creating a body that supports your life. Finally, adopt a growth mindset. Truly believe that you can learn, adapt, and grow in any area of life. See your challenges as teachers. View your failures not as proof that you're not good enough, but as part of the process. And every single day, practice gratitude. Find something, anything to appreciate. Not everything in your life is perfect, but not everything is broken either. And when you train yourself to see the good, you create more of it. And then there's this, resilience. If you're going to thrive in this ever-changing world, you have to build the ability to adapt. That means investing in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your mindset. The truth is, what's valuable today might be irrelevant tomorrow. So stay curious, stay open, keep learning, stay one step ahead by becoming someone who never stops growing. Feed your creativity too, whether it's painting, music, writing, dancing, cooking, design, whatever helps you express what's inside you, make space for it. Creativity isn't just for artists, it's for everyone. It helps you process life. It helps you stay connected to yourself. And it reminds you that you are more than your to-do list. Also, be kind to yourself. Seriously, stop being your own worst critic. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love, with patience, with compassion. You're human. You're going to mess up. You'll hit walls. You'll fall short. But that's okay. What matters isn't the mistake. It's what you do next. Do you learn from it? Do you get back up? Do you keep going? That's what growth looks like. And now let's address the part nobody likes to admit, guilt. When you start putting yourself first, guilt creeps in. You start thinking, am I being selfish? Should I be spending this time on someone else instead? But here's the truth. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's responsible. It's the foundation for everything else you do. If you're a parent, don't you want your kids to see what a fulfilling life looks like? Don't you want to model how to pursue dreams, set boundaries, and live with purpose? If you're a leader at work, don't you want to show your team what balance looks like? Don't you want to lead from a place of strength, energy, and vision? When you invest in yourself, you're not taking away from others. You're creating more to give. And then there's fear of failing, fear of change, sometimes even fear of succeeding. But growth always lives on the other side of fear. Every time you do something that scares you, even just a little, you stretch, you expand, you become more of who you're meant to be. So feel the fear, name it, but don't let it be the thing that holds you back. Let's talk about what happens when you do focus on yourself. First, you'll feel more fulfilled. Life won't feel like something you're just enduring. It'll start to feel like something you're building. You'll wake up with direction, with purpose, with a sense of momentum. Your relationships, they'll level up. Because when you're energized and grounded, you show up differently. You're more patient, more present, more loving. You stop needing people to fill your cup because your cup is already full. Your career, that starts changing too. When you build new skills and confidence, you bring more value to the table. You lead better. You innovate. You solve problems with more creativity. You may even discover a path you didn't think was possible before. And your health, both mental and physical, starts to reflect that inner shift. You sleep better, you stress less, you move more, you feel stronger. And as you age, your quality of life stays high because you've built habits that support your energy and well-being. And most importantly, you become resilient. Life will still throw punches, but you'll handle them better. You'll bounce back faster. You'll find meaning even in the setbacks. And somewhere along the way, you'll notice something else too. You feel peace, not just temporary happiness, not just a quick dopamine hit, but a deep, steady kind of satisfaction. Because your life finally feels aligned with your values. You're not chasing someone else's version of success anymore. You're living your own. And here's what's beautiful about that. When you grow, the people around you grow too. Your energy lifts them. Your story inspires them. Your growth becomes a ripple effect that touches lives you might never even realize. But here's what I want you to remember above all else. Focusing on yourself is not a one-time thing. This isn't a 30-day challenge. This isn't a resolution. This is a lifelong commitment. There will be days when you feel on fire and others when you feel stuck. You'll have wins. You'll have setbacks. But the goal isn't perfection. It's progress. Every single day is a new opportunity. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter how long you've been off track. Today is a fresh start. So make the decision right now, in this moment. Decide that from today forward, you're going to prioritize your growth. Decide that your happiness matters, that your goals matter, that you matter. Decide to nurture your mind, your body, your spirit. Decide to pursue what sets your soul on fire. Decide to become the version of you that you know deep down you're capable of becoming. And no, it won't always be easy. There will be resistance. There will be days when you want to quit. But every time you push forward anyway, you grow. And little by little, your life begins to reflect that growth. Remember, every movement, every innovation, every act of courage that's ever changed the world started with one person who decided to grow, one person who said, I can do better, I can be better. You have that same power, and it all starts right here with a single decision. Focus on you, because when you do, you change everything. But it does mean being willing to step outside your comfort zone. It means being okay with not having all the answers yet. It means doing the things that stretch you, the things that make your heart race a little, that challenge your assumptions, that ask you to grow, because that's where transformation lives. No one becomes stronger by staying where it's easy. You grow by stepping into the unknown, by testing your limits, by proving to yourself that you are capable of more. And the beautiful thing, you don't have to leap into chaos. You don't have to flip your life upside down. You just have to keep leaning into growth, one small uncomfortable action at a time. Try something new that scares you just a little. Speak up in a meeting, sign up for a class, reach out to someone you admire. Every time you do something that makes you a little nervous, but you do it anyway, you are growing stronger, braver, more aligned. Now let's talk about self-discipline, the quiet engine behind it all. It's easy to feel motivated in the moment, easy to set goals when you're inspired. But what happens when the spark fades? What happens when the mood disappears? That's where self-discipline steps in. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's sticking to your routine when no one's watching. It's choosing the long-term reward over the short-term escape. Discipline is the bridge between who you are today and who you're becoming. And here's the truth. You won't always feel like doing the work. You won't always be excited. But if you wait for motivation to show up before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, be the kind of person who takes action anyway. The kind of person who keeps their promises, even the ones they make to themselves. Because when you do that, day after day, that's when the real momentum kicks in. That's when you stop needing discipline to push you, because your habits begin to pull you. And here's a powerful shift in mindset I want you to remember. You don't have to. You get to. You don't have to read that book. You get to invest in your mind. You don't have to work out. You get to move your body and strengthen your health. You don't have to journal or meditate or reflect. You get to be someone who takes control of their life. That shift from obligation to opportunity will change everything. You'll begin to see that growth isn't a chore. It's a privilege. Not everyone chooses to do the work. Not everyone says yes to becoming more, but you are. And that's something to be proud of. Also, don't go it alone. This journey becomes richer when you connect with others who are on the path too. Seek out mentors. Surround yourself with people who want to grow. People who ask better questions. People who lift you up. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to podcasts that challenge your mindset. Go to events or workshops that push you into new conversations and new communities. Fill your world with energy that supports your growth, because your environment matters more than you think. And when your circle is filled with people who are leveling up, you won't just be inspired, you'll be called to rise with them. Now let's return to something fundamental, the power of the small things. Most people think personal development is about big changes, big moves, dramatic reinventions. But the truth is, it's the tiny, consistent actions that shape your life. It's choosing a healthy meal when fast food would be easier. It's reading 5 pages instead of scrolling for 30 minutes. It's taking a breath instead of snapping in frustration. It's saying no to something that drains you and yes to something that fills you. These small decisions might not seem like much in the moment, but over time, they stack up. They build momentum. They shape your identity. Think of it like compound interest. Each time you choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, you're making a deposit into the life you want to live. And those deposits, they add up to something extraordinary. But only if you keep going. Only if you stay consistent. Not perfect, not flawless, just consistent. Because the real growth happens on the days you don't feel like showing up, but you do anyway. The breakthroughs come when you keep moving forward, even when it's slow, even when it's hard, even when no one else sees it yet. That's what separates those who talk about change from those who create it. I want you to picture something. Imagine yourself a year from now, not a version of you who got lucky, not a fantasy, but a version of you who showed up every single day, who invested the time, made the hard choices, leaned into growth, who read the books, took the walks, had the hard conversations, who built habits instead of chasing hacks. Where would that version of you be? What would they look like? How would they speak? What kind of life would they be living? Because that version of you, it's not just possible, it's waiting, and it's not going to show up by accident. You have to build it one decision at a time, one day at a time, and it starts today. So let me ask you again, what's one thing, just one, that you can do today to invest in yourself? Read for 10 minutes, go for a walk with no phone, just your thoughts. Start writing down your goals again. Say no to something that drains you and yes to something that feeds your soul. Whatever it is, do it. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, then do it again tomorrow and again and again. until your life starts to reflect the choices you've been making behind the scenes. Because that's how change really happens. Not all at once, but day by day. True fulfillment does not come from just focusing on ourselves. Yes, personal growth begins with you, but it's never only about you. When you grow, when you develop, when you become more whole, you naturally start pouring that growth into the people and world around you. That's where meaning really takes root. Because life isn't just about what you accomplish for yourself. It's about how you show up in your relationships, your community, your contribution. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be wealthy. You just have to be present. Present for your family, present for your friends, present for the causes and ideas that matter to you. And when you take care of yourself first, mentally, physically, emotionally, you show up with more to give. You show up with energy, clarity, empathy, creativity. You listen better. You love deeper. You give more generously because you're not constantly running on empty. So don't just grow for you. Grow because your growth makes the world a little better. Because your light, once it's shining, helps others find theirs too. And understand, none of this is about perfection. You don't need to become some ideal version of yourself before you're allowed to matter. You already matter right now. This journey you're on, it's about becoming more of who you already are, peeling back the noise, unlearning the limits, letting the strongest, truest version of you come forward step by step. And here's one of the most powerful things you can realize. You are not behind. No matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just starting or you've been doing this work for years, you're exactly where you need to be to take the next step. Stop comparing your path to someone else's highlight reel. Growth doesn't happen on a set timeline. It doesn't follow a script. Your journey is yours, and it's unfolding in its own perfect, sometimes messy, sometimes magical way. And that's okay. Just keep showing up, keep doing the work, keep choosing growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Especially when it's uncomfortable, the discomfort means you're evolving. And evolution by nature is a little chaotic. It's supposed to feel unfamiliar because you're becoming someone you've never been before. That's not failure. That's the process. So give yourself grace. Be patient, but stay persistent. And remember, no step is too small. No effort is wasted. Even the tiniest shifts, when done consistently, can change the entire course of your life. Let's bring it back to something simple and practical. Say no to one thing today that drains you. Say yes to one thing that feeds you. Make your bed. Go for a walk. Write one honest paragraph in your journal. Compliment someone. Drink a glass of water. Learn one new thing. Ask one better question. These things might seem small, but they stack. They build momentum. They shift identity. And little by little, they create a version of you who feels aligned with your values, your vision, your purpose. And when that alignment happens, life doesn't just feel better. It is better. It's deeper, richer, more connected. So don't chase perfection. Chase presence, chase intention, chase the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're becoming the kind of person you're proud of. Because in the end, that's what this is all about. Becoming someone you're proud to be. It's about savoring the journey along the way, because real fulfillment, it doesn't come from checking boxes. It doesn't come from finally arriving. It comes from the process, from the slow, steady unfolding of who you're becoming. And one of the most beautiful parts of this journey is when your growth begins to overflow into the lives of others. As you grow, as you develop, as you start becoming more of who you're truly meant to be, you'll notice something. You have more to give, more wisdom, more patience, more compassion, more value, more real, grounded, human energy to offer the people around you. That's when something incredible starts to happen. Your journey becomes bigger than you. Because when you give from a place of growth, when you share what you've learned, support someone in their own path, offer your skills or your time, you experience a kind of joy that's deeper than achievement. It's purpose. It's connection. It's that sense that your life matters, not just to you, but to others. And this doesn't require some grand gesture. You don't have to start a nonprofit or go viral or move mountains. It might be as simple as mentoring someone at work, offering help to a friend who's struggling, volunteering your time, listening deeply to someone who just needs to be heard, using your skills, big or small, to make someone's life just a little bit better. That's how real impact begins. And here's the beautiful thing about giving. It grows you too. When you give, you learn. When you give, you stretch your perspective, you deepen your empathy, you sharpen your abilities, you become more. It becomes a powerful feedback loop. You grow, you give, you grow even more. And the cycle continues. So as you keep showing up for yourself, keep asking, how can I use this growth to lift someone else? Because in the end, that's what this whole journey is really about. Becoming the best version of yourself, not just for your own sake, but so that you can leave the world better than you found it. And on that path, there's one simple yet incredibly powerful tool that will change how you experience everything: gratitude. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good emotion. It's a mindset shift. It's a lens that changes how you see the world. Because when you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, something inside you shifts. You start noticing the beauty in the little things. You start realizing just how much there is to be thankful for. That shift builds resilience. It strengthens you during hard times. It opens your heart and it keeps you grounded even as you continue to grow. Make it a daily practice. Take 5 minutes, write down 3 things you're grateful for, big things, small things, anything. Your health, a good conversation, the fact that you woke up today with another chance to do better. And don't just feel it, express it. Tell people when you appreciate them. Say it out loud, write the message, give the compliment. That gratitude not only deepens your relationships, it amplifies your own joy. And the best part? The more grateful you are, the more good things you notice. The more you notice, the more you appreciate, and the more you appreciate, the more your mindset aligns with growth and abundance. That's not a mindset reserved for the lucky. It's one you build, one you choose every single day. Now, before we keep going, I want to remind you of something essential. This is not a race. There is no finish line in personal growth, no perfect version of you waiting at the end. This is a lifelong process, a commitment, an unfolding. You're not doing this to become flawless. You're doing it to become real, to become whole, to become aligned with your truth. Some days growth will look like bold progress. Other days it will look like rest. Some seasons will feel full of fire and momentum. Others will feel quiet, slow, reflective. All of it is valid. All of it is part of the journey. So don't judge yourself for moving slowly. Don't give up because things didn't change overnight. Don't think you failed because you had a setback or took a step backward. You're still moving. You're still learning. You're still growing. And every tiny win, every single shift, every hard lesson, it all adds up. These are the bricks that build the life you're creating. These are the reps that strengthen your character. These are the moments that shape your story. So celebrate the small victories. Celebrate the effort, the persistence, the fact that you're even on this journey at all, because that right there is what most people never even choose. And while yes, goals matter, and yes, you should aim high, dream big, and work hard, don't forget to enjoy the process. Don't miss the beauty of becoming because you're obsessed with arriving. Look around once in a while. Appreciate where you are. Celebrate the fact that you're growing, even if you're not where you want to be yet, because this is the good stuff. This is life happening in real time, not at the end of the road, but right here in the journey itself. Every movement, every innovation, every act of courage that's ever changed the world started with one person who decided to grow, one person who said, I can do better, I can be better. You have that same power, and it all starts right here with a single decision. Focus on you, because when you do, you change everything.